The woman who never gave up. A dream takes root. Maria loved to bake bread, and everyone in her village said that her breads and cakes were the best they had ever tasted. But starting a bakery wasn't easy. Maria didn't have much money, and she didn't know how to run a business. People in the village told her it was a silly idea. "Stay here," they said. "You have a good life already. Why take such a big risk?" Maria felt scared, but she couldn't let go of her dream. Every night, she wrote down her ideas. She made a list of the things she needed: a small oven, some ingredients, and a place to work. She saved every bit of money she earned from selling bread to her neighbors. It wasn't much, but Maria believed it was a start. Her family didn't understand her passion, but her younger sister Clara encouraged her. "You can do it," Clara said. "You've always been strong. Don't give up." Facing the challenges. After months of saving, Maria finally rented a small space in the city. It wasn't fancy, it had cracked walls and old floors, but Maria saw it as the beginning of her dream. She painted the walls, cleaned the floors, and set up her oven. The first days were tough. Maria had no customers. She stood outside her shop, offering free samples of her bread to people passing by. Some took a bite and smiled, others walked away without saying a word. One day, a woman named Mrs. Lopez came into the bakery. She tried a piece of Maria's bread and said, "This is the best bread I've ever had. I'll tell my friends about your shop." Slowly, word began to spread. More people came to taste Maria's delicious bread and cakes. But not everything was easy. Maria worked long hours, often waking up before sunrise and going to bed late at night. Some days, she barely made enough money to cover her costs. On those nights, she would sit in her tiny shop and think about giving up. But then she remembered Clara's words, "You can do it." A community of support. As time passed, Maria's hard work began to pay off. People from the village and the city started to notice her bakery. They came not only for her delicious bread but also for her warm smile and friendly attitude. One day, the mayor of the city visited her shop. He said, "Maria, your bakery has become a special place in our city. You've created more than just bread, you've created a sense of community." Hearing this made Maria's heart swell with pride. She decided to give back to the community that supported her. She started offering free baking classes for children and taught them how to make simple cakes and cookies. The laughter and joy in her bakery brought Maria even more happiness than the success of her business. Clara came to visit one weekend. Seeing the busy bakery and the happy customers, she hugged Maria tightly. "I always knew you could do it," Clara said. "You've inspired everyone here." The reward of perseverance. Years later, Maria's bakery had become one of the most popular shops in the city. She had hired staff to help her, but she still loved being in the kitchen, creating new recipes and talking to her customers. Maria often thought about her journey. It hadn't been easy, but she learned that success wasn't just about talent. It was about hard work, patience, and never giving up. One evening, as she closed the shop, Maria looked out at the city lights. She thought about the little girl who had once dreamed of baking in her small village. That girl had taken a chance, faced her fears, and built something beautiful. Maria smiled to herself and whispered, "I never gave up, and it was worth it."